Hello, my name is Bree, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel, Breezy Banter, the place where I talk about the things I want to talk about. In today's video, I'm doing a continuation of one of the series that I have here on my channel, where I talk about my experience with a particular indie perfume house. And I've actually already filmed and posted video 1 of this particular indie perfume house, which is CocoaPink. Because I've tried so many samples from CocoaPink, I decided to break it up into at least 2 videos. We'll see how far I get with this video. It might have to be 3, but I'm hoping I might be able to do it in 2. And so in the first video, I talked about all of the perfumes that I tried that started with the letters A through D. And then I also gave a general overview of my thoughts on the house, my experience with them, etc. So if you're interested in sort of those more general details, I recommend checking out that video. Otherwise, in this video, I'm going to focus on perfumes that start with the letter F. So there were none that started with the letter E. So perfumes that start with the letter F. And we'll see, as I said, we'll see how far I get. So if you don't watch the first video that I mentioned in its entirety, then I'll just very briefly explain what I do in these videos. So in these videos, I'll tell you the name of the perfume that I tried, whether or not I received it as a free sample, whether my rating of it from 1 through 10, whether or not I want to full size it, the notes as described by the house, and then my particular experience wearing it. And other than that, I think we're ready to get started. So the first one that I have here is called Faded Memories, and I rated this 9 out of 10, and I do want to full size it. The notes are a blend of delicate vanillas, soft osmanthus, autumn hail bales, golden amber, and copal. I said this scent reminds me of my mom. Unfortunately, when I tried CocoaPink fairly early on when I started getting into indie perfumes, and I didn't have thoughts of like making a YouTube channel at the time, and so sometimes my notes aren't always the most useful, like they weren't made with YouTube content in mind. So unfortunately, that means something. The scent reminding me of my mom means something to me. Fortunately, it doesn't mean a lot to you. My guess is that this is just a very sort of dry vanilla with some like wheat in it, is what I think I meant by this, and especially given the notes. I think it reminds me of like the prairies, basically. Next, I tried Fear of Pumpkins, which I rated 7 out of 10, and I do not want a full size. The notes are sweet pumpkin entombed inside soft pale cupcakes topped with whipped buttercream frosting next to a frightful blend of sugared pralines and pumpkin bread. I said the scent is nice and simple. It's like a spicy vanilla / buttery scent. I could do with less of the spice, pumpkin, but it was a great scent to wear during the fall. Then I tried Forever Winter, which I rated 8 out of 10, and I might want a full size. The notes are warm mugs are filled with marshmallow topped hot cocoa and French vanilla cappuccino, while candied ginger and other spiced holiday sweets fill the room. Carefully chosen warm background notes of cozy sandalwood, Madagascar peppercorn, and white musk truly make this fragrance a sexy gourmand. It seems like there's a word missing. It just says makes this fragrance sexy gourmand, which isn't correct, but whatever. I said this scent is really warm and comforting. It's a nice fall / winter scent. It's sweet with a little spice, but definitely gourmand. It's like hot cocoa, but with a little something something. Then I tried French Baguette, which I rated 5 out of 10, and I do not want a full size. The notes are the smell of warm bread baking with a scent of melting butter over a crunchy crust. I said, yep, this is bread. It is exactly as described. I was complimented while wearing this. I think French Baguette is actually a pretty popular scent for CocoaPink, which is interesting because, as I said in the first video that I posted for CocoaPink, their specialty is really like sweet gourmands. And French Baguette, it's like, it smelled like a French Baguette. I can't fault them for that, but it's just surprising to me that it would be as popular as I think it is. Next is Frosted Eyelet, which, speaking of, the Frosted Eyelet note is, again, just a very well-beloved scent from CocoaPink. I rated it 9 out of 10, and I do want a full size. The notes are buttercream, marshmallow, vanilla ice cream. This is our best-selling Ivory Eyelet without the lemon. Delicious. And so Ivory Eyelet is another scent that I'll talk about. I think that's what I have it confused with. I have it confused with Ivory Eyelet, which is one of their more popular ones. But I'll talk about that one later because I have tried it. I said this is definitely a rich and creamy vanilla scent. I was told I smelled like candy. Then I tried Homemade Holiday Eggnog, which I rated 6 out of 10, and I do not want a full size. The notes are creamy milk and heavy thickened cream, sugarcane, vanilla extract spiked with hot buttered rum, and topped with a special blend of powdered nutmeg and a light touch of cinnamon. I said this scent was fine, but the cinnamon irritated my skin upon application. I wish it was sweeter than it was. And I've said this before in many videos, but my skin commonly reacts to spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, etc. So this isn't unique or special to CocoaPink. It's to be expected. Then I tried homemade vanilla ice cream, which I rated 6 out of 10, and I do not want a full size. The notes are deliciously creamy fragrance of rich vanilla ice cream. I said I fully expected to love this one, but something about it is just a little off. It's definitely less sweet than I was expecting. And then I tried Homicidal Girlfriend, which I rated 9 out of 10, and I do not want full size. The notes are the sweetness of vanilla pancakes and blueberries, the piquance of black leather and musk, a whisper of woods and spicy florals, and through it all, the threat of gunpowder. I said this is an interesting scent, and I was complimented on it several times while wearing it. It's definitely spicy mixed with something sweet and something badass. I very distinctly remember wearing this perfume. My sister and I don't live close to each other, but we are like close, I guess, like emotionally. And I remember we were on like a vacation together and she like loved it. And this was one of the ones that I brought. Then I tried honey cinnamon rolls, which I rated 4 out of 10, and I do not want a full size. The notes are warm, fragrant cinnamon buns smothered in white honey infused cream cheese frosting, topped with smashed sugared pralines. Words are hard. I said I very much get cinnamon after a few hours, and if I get the faintest whiff of it, I can smell the cream cheese. Unfortunately, the scent is far less true to the real thing than I was expecting. Then there's the infamous Ivory Eyelet, which I rated 10 out of 10, and I do want a full size. The notes are buttercream, lemon curd, marshmallow, vanilla ice cream. I said, yes, please. Lemony, sugary, vanilla goodness. I'm like a lemon creamsicle and I smell incredible. Then I tried Lavender Honey Macaroons, which I rated 9 out of 10, and I do want a full size. The notes are French macaroons with wild lavender sprigs, blended with pure black vanilla bean and gentle touches of golden tupelo honey. I said this scent is interesting. It smells best when my arm isn't right up against my nose, but it's definitely lavender and honey mixed with some herbal notes and some sweetness. Then there's Mad Hatter Cookies Noel, which I rated 7 out of 10, and I do not want a full size. The notes are almondy, sweet, Mad Hatter, sugar cookies, marshmallow frosting, and vanilla bean Noel. I said this is a quintessential CocoaPink scent. It seems to fade much quicker than their other scents, however. It is sweet, sugary, and definitely smells like cookies and vanilla. Then I tried Marshmallow Cake on Mondays, which I rated 9 out of 10, and I do want a full size. The notes are, this scent has it all. It is our best-selling Cake on Mondays scent blended with marshmallow. Do not let the name fool you. This is still a Cake on Monday scent, only a bit softer and sweeter. The spice note still has a little kick. Use caution and do a patch test first. I said, the scent is as described. I do get the spice note from it, but it's on the softer end of things. This smells like cake and deliciousness and sugar. Then I tried October in Provence, which I rated 7 out of 10, and I do not want a full size. The notes are a scent reminiscent of sweet musk de Provence, or fairy tale, pumpkin baking in the oven as the sun sets over fields of lavender and the last heat of autumn warms the dark, incensey soils of southern France. A ribbon of wood smoke rises in the valley and a sweet hint of the patisserie is carried on the breeze. I said this scent is very much lavender plus pumpkin plus smoke. It's quite lovely, but smoke scents aren't generally my thing. And for the record, neither is pumpkin for that matter. Then I tried Pina Colada Cotton Candy, which I rated 8 out of 10, and I might want a full size. The notes are cotton candy with coconut and pineapple blended in rich cream and sugar. I said this is exactly what it says on the tin. Fruity and sweet with some slight tartness. I just have to decide whether or not I want to smell like a pina colada. Then I tried Pink Dragon, which I rated 10 out of 10, and I do want to full size this. This is CocoaPink's Candy Floss, softened with sweet buttery sugar cookies, vanilla cream, and whipped peaks of marshmallow sugar. I said this scent is deliciously sweet. It's all the gourmand scents I like in one. Cookie, sugar, marshmallow, and cotton candy. Yum. I have to say, Pink Dragon is what I remember of it, because I haven't full sized it yet, but I've used up my sample, I think that was my favorite one from CocoaPink. It was like a sweet gourmand lover's dream. It was my favorite. Then I tried Rice Krispie Treat, which I rated 8 out of 10, and I do not want a full size. The notes are, smells like the popular recipe with notes of vanilla, marshmallow, caramel, and butter. I said at first this was very overwhelmingly rice and something, but it quickly morphed into a sweet scent. It was best smelled from afar, but the marshmallow really came through. Then I tried Santa's Cookies, which I rated 9 out of 10, and I do want a full size. The notes are vanilla bean Noel, sugar cookies, marshmallow sugar, and a splash of Harajuku banana. I said, this is interesting. I don't get banana from this, but I do get sugary, creamy, slightly spicy vanilla instead. Then I tried Seaside Picnic, which I rated 9 out of 10, and I do want a full size. The notes are airy whipped cream, snow white cake crumbles, cotton candy frosting, aromatic white tea, and coconut limeade tempered with gentle sea breezes. I said that this scent is very interesting. I definitely get musky beach water mixed with some sweetness. I don't get any of the individual sweet notes like cream, cake, cotton candy frosting, etc. I was complimented several times while wearing it. I remember that. My partner quite liked that one. Then I tried Sigh, which I rated 10 out of 10, and I do want to full size it. I think this was my second favorite. The notes are whispers of sweet European lavender and weeping apple blossoms cuddled in pillows of marshmallow clouds and vanilla cream. I said, oh my god, I smelled this and was like, whoa, this is sweet and comforting and clean. It's a slightly fresher version of Firebird's lavender milk. It is absolutely heavenly. So I have another video on Firebird where I talk about lavender milk, which was, I'll say, one of my favorites also from Firebird, but it's been out of stock like since Firebird was the first company that I ordered from when I first got into indies, and it's been out of stock since I made that order of samples. So it's been like several years at this point. So I hold out a slight amount of hope that the Firebird version will come back, but if it doesn't, that's okay, because CocoaPink has one that's similar. Then I tried Spun Sugar, which I rated 10 out of 10, and I do want to full size it. The notes are a more realistic cotton candy blend with fresh strawberry sugar and sweet vanilla. I said delicious and sweet. This is very sugary with fresh fruity notes and a nice vanilla musk to it. I thought I could also get a slight smokiness from it. Then I tried Starry Night, which I received as a free sample. I rated it 7 out of 10, and I do not want to full size it. The notes are deep blue swirls of blackberry and blueberry, a dark glitter of strawberry wine, lustrous white coconut CO2, and golden buttery cookie crumb. I said on first application, I definitely got the buttery cookie crumb. And I said, as it was, sorry, I was like reading my notes as I was filming. I said, as it was a sample, I tried it before checking the notes. I originally thought it was graham cracker, but the description now makes more sense. All of the scents combined together for a really interesting blend of buttery fruitiness. Then I tried sweet potato souffle, which I rated 6 out of 10, and I do not want a full size. The notes are golden sweet potato, soft brown sugar, condensed milk, and rich sweet vanilla extract spiked with a gentle drop of creamy coconut milk, finished off with fluffy billows of partially melted marshmallows topped with chopped walnuts. I said I was convinced to buy this based off of the glowing reviews on Indie Makeup and More, which is a subreddit on Reddit, despite my concerns about a sweet potato scent. While I can smell it if I really think about it, I mostly get spicy vanilla from the scent. I can see why others dig it, even if I didn't. Then I tried Tahitian Monoi Cake, I'm sorry for the pronunciation, which I rated 6 out of 10, and I do not want full size. The notes are vanilla cake batter injected with candied citrus, moist white cake smothered in whipped buttercream icing, touched with nuances of Polynesian Monoi oil. I said the scent definitely isn't bad, but it is very, very rich. It's like an 8 on the rich scale and 2 on the sweet scale, and I think if it's closer to like a 6.4, it would have been delightful. Then I tried Thai rolled ice cream, which I received as a free sample, and I rated it 8 out of 10, and I do not want a full size. The notes are Madagascar vanilla beans, sweet cream, golden honeycomb, delicate hints of cardamom, topped with sugared pralines, rolled on a marble table and drizzled with warm sea salt caramel. I said this is relatively sweet and rich. It smells like there's just a touch of spice in it, which adds a nice complexity. It is very similar to Nava's coconut cream ice cream, which I have a slight preference for. And so Nava is Nocturne Alchemy, which I haven't done a video on them yet because they're up there. I think CocoaPink, Nava, and Stereoplasm are probably the 3 companies that I've tried the most from. And Nava's scent descriptions are like impenetrable. Like you can read it, and if you don't have a dictionary of like scents that are unique to Nava, because I do so many like house blends based on other scents that they have already created and it's like self-referential, and it's like impossible. And so I've just been thinking about the best way to approach making that video, and I haven't yet. I will at some point. But anyways, all of that to say, there's a very similar perfume that Nava has, which as I said, I have a slight preference for the Nava one. So that's why I don't want to purchase this one. I do remember this one though, and it was quite nice. Then I tried They Will Tempt You, which I rated 4 out of 10, and I do not want a full size. The notes are coconut creams, Turkish delight, cardamom cakes, pistachio and anise caramels, all warmed by amber, myrrh, and musk. I said it's difficult for me to discern any of the listed notes in this scent. It reminds me of a fall carnival, and I thought for sure it had some apple in it. It's not a bad scent, it's just not for me. It's also interesting because I had Turkish Delight for like the first time maybe like just over a week ago, like a week and a half ago, and so I'm curious now if I'd be able to like pick it out had I tried it now. Before I didn't know what Turkish Delight smelled like. Then I tried Triple Vanilla Dream, which I rated 9 out of 10, and I do want full size. The notes are, our spirituous double vanilla blended carefully with the beloved Tahitian fragrance creates a unique yet dreamy, long-lasting vanilla scent that has been a top requested favorite of our customers. I said this is a solid vanilla perfume for vanilla lovers. It is rich and creamy. I think this is kind of like the crowd pleaser. If you like vanilla, I think you'll like Triple Vanilla Dream. Then I tried Twist of Lime Noel, which I rated 7 out of 10, and I do not want a full size. The notes are lime so tart it will make you pucker, mixed with our vanilla bean Noel, which is caramel, sugar, vanilla, tonka bean, and white musk. I said this is definitely lime and vanilla, but something about it was just off in a way that's difficult to describe. I suspect it has to do with the lingering citrus. It's definitely nicer from a distance. Then Vanilla Bean Noel, which I rated 9 out of 10, and I do want a full size. The notes are fresh vanilla bean, warm caramel, and rich, comforting cream create this deliciously sweet holiday scent. Caramel, sugar, vanilla, tonka bean, and white musk. I said this is a really lovely and creamy vanilla scent, though nothing in particular stands out about it. And then I made an edit afterwards where I said I re-smelled it after some time apart from it, and it's actually delicious. Then I tried White Sugar, which I rated 10 out of 10, and I do want to full size it. The notes are marshmallow, vanilla cream, sugar cookies, a drop of pink sugar. I said this is a very sugary and vanilla heavy scent with a slight tinge of burntness to it, though not in an unpleasant way. I was wearing this when I got engaged, which is a nice memory. I think that might be contributing perhaps a bit to the 10 out of 10 rating. Then I tried Winkin', Blinkin', and Nod, which I rated 8 out of 10, and I might want to full size. The notes are black amber musk versus pure white musk. Dark roasted coffee swirled with thick creamy vanilla, deep cocoa absolute, and light white chocolate, a breath of stern cardamom, and a kiss of sweet tonka. I said this scent is very warm and sexy. It reminds me quite a lot of Forever Winter, so I only need to full size one of them. Forever Winter being one that I talked about earlier in this video. It smells like musky coffee with a little spice and a little sweetness. So those are all the samples that I've tried from CocoaPink. There are a few others on my list that I have in my possession that I have yet to sample. I do my best to try as many samples as I can before I make a video like this, but because I just have so many scents from CocoaPink that it would take me a lot longer to be able to have time to appropriately sample them before I make this video. And I feel like I already just have so much to share about CocoaPink. So all of that to say, I think you can tell that there were tons of scents here that I either really liked but don't want to full size, or I really, really liked and do want to full size. There are a handful where I'm I can see why others might like this. It's more to their preferences. It's just not to mine, but it's perfectly fine. I don't think anything here I was I do not want to wear this. It's more a matter of just whether it meets my personal preferences. And I was thinking about this last night, knowing that I was going to film this video today. I said it before that CocoaPink is really a sweet gourmand lover's dream. Throw a rock and you're going to hit 27 perfumes that have some combination of vanilla, buttercream frosting, and sugar, and it's delightful if that's what you're into, which I happen to be. But I do feel there are quite a few perfumes that they have that aren't sweet gourmands. There are a handful that I tried, the sweet potato souffle, and there was one other one. There was at least one other one, French Baguette as well. To me, those are gourmand scents, but they're not sweet gourmands. And so I know there are people who have a preference for not sweet gourmands, in which case I feel CocoaPink still has something for you. And I at this point in time, I know my taste. I know that that's what I like, and I knew that when I tried CocoaPink, I've ordered from them a few times, and so I purposely picked ones that I expect I would like. And that's not to say that sweet gourmands are all that CocoaPink has to offer. That's not true. So I do think, and I should also say that they have an extensive catalog. So if what I've described doesn't appeal to you, I don't want you to get the wrong impression that CocoaPink wouldn't have something for you. They do just have such a large catalog that it's kind of difficult for me to imagine that they wouldn't. CocoaPink, I can't remember whether or not I talked about this in the first video that I filmed on CocoaPink when I was talking about the house more generally, but if I didn't, I do just want to be certain that I put this out there that CocoaPink is really big on like no FOMO. They have a general catalog, a spring summer catalog, and then a fall winter catalog, and they're very upfront about when those scent lists are available, when they're coming down. They very rarely retire scents as well, which I think is like a big deal in the indie community. I know that they have retired some, but it's probably like less than 1% of their entire catalog. And that could be for a variety of reasons. I don't know the reasons, but my guess is like they attempt to avoid doing it to the extent possible, just given what I've seen from their catalogs. So I did manage to get through all of the CocoaPink scents in this second video. And as I said, you can tell that there are a lot of perfumes that I will be full sizing from them eventually. I imagine that going forward, like in the future, I might ask for like a gift certificate or something for my birthday or for Christmas to CocoaPink. I don't plan on full sizing like them all at once, but maybe this upcoming Black Friday or maybe next year's Black Friday, we'll see. That might be a time in which I full size at least some of these. I for sure want a full size of the perfume that I was wearing when I got engaged. Like that's really special to me. So I think that'd be nice to have like in my collection. I think that's everything that I had to say about CocoaPink. I think it's pretty clear, like I love this house. It has a lot on offer for my preferences. So it's like, it's a delight to go exploring. If there are any perfumes that I didn't mention that you think I would like based on what I've described, please let me know, because as I've said several times now, I will be ordering from them again in the future. Before I go, I'd like to take a minute to thank you for taking time out of your day to spend watching this video. It really means a lot to me. Thank you.